Well, hello, 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 and welcome to part two, signs of a toxic relationship or relationships or relationships. Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. Yeah, y'all came back for part two because I wasn't finished when I was talking about toxic relationships and toxic behaviors. There were some more signs that I wanted to make sure that we got. So, gotta do it in a part two, right? So, but every time we are going to go into grandma's cookie jar secret because we can never leave out grandma, right? And that's how my grandson said it to y'all. He says, Grandma, right? Sip of the tea. Hmm. And let's get started. So grandma's cookie jar says, let's root for each other and watch each other grow. I promise you, I did not plant that, but how well does that go with signs of a toxic relationship? Ooh, be scared and do it anyway. I gotta hold this one out too, y'all. I can't put this one back in the cookie jar either. So we're gonna get started today. Let's root for each other and watch each other grow. That's something that man, that is so hmm so lacking today. Folks don't want to root for you, right? Today I wanted to talk about in conjunction with the toxic relationship. I wanted us to I'm gonna take off these. Well, yeah, I am a grandma, but take off grandma's sexy specs for right now because I can put them back on when I get ready to give y'all those signs. I want to talk a little bit about searching for the greatness inside of you. See, Les Brown says that you have greatness in you, but do you believe it? Do you have it posted anywhere? Like I have sticky notes everywhere. Do you have sticky notes posted that says you have greatness inside of you? So every time you look at it, you're talking to yourself. Every time you look over here, you're talking to yourself. Those are called positive affirmations, and they are a necessity. They're an absolute must. When you're striving to reach your greatest potential, there are going to be people that are not going to like it. Do I need to say that again? There are going to be people that do not like it. People that aren't going to like you. Are you surprised? No, wink, wink, right? People that are not going to like you, people that are going to pretend to be in your corner, and they're not going to really be in your corner. They're going to be poking holes in the boat as you're rowing, right? They don't understand that if we all come together and we all bring our uniqueness to the table and bring our gifts to the table, we have a better table. We have a better spread, right? So one of the things that we are doing in the behind the scenes is we're coming up with a book club and a new channel called, well, I'm going to hold off on giving you that, what it's going to be called, but it's going to be good, y'all. I promise you. And we're going to give you information that's going to help you with your personal and professional development, right? Your personal development is so important because just like when you are building your personal credit as a guarantor, we're going to talk about that as well. And you're building your business credit, but your foundation has to be intact because they're going to use your credit scores first, and then they're going to build your business credit, especially if you're talking about one of those assets as we talk about asset diversification, one of those assets is building an LLC and then maybe building an S Corp or a C Corp, right? We're going to talk about that as we continue to move forward in building our diverse asset portfolio. Yeah, y'all, I haven't forgotten about that. I've just been working on our mindset because there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we haven't gotten right, and we're going to get it right. 2022, we still got 3 weeks, and 2023 is going to be off the chart. We're about to have a blast. But I wanted to let you know that I wanted to talk a little bit more about toxic relationships since, like I said, got about 4 or 5 calls, and these were from men. I was really surprised, but these were from men about toxic relationships and, asking for more information. What did I have on it? Because, we some of us seem to not be able to get it right. And I'm not saying I have all the answers or that I'm getting it all right. But guess what? As long as we're working toward it and striving towards our goal, we eventually make it. We eventually get there. So I love this. Let's root for each other and watch each other grow. So let's think about that as we continue to move forward and be scared and do it anyway. Man, oh man, I tell you. So let's reach in here and let me pull out the sexy specs and let's understand what are the signs of a toxic relationship, okay? And also, your supporters won't come from where you think it's going to come from. Oftentimes, you're in support of somebody or something that they're in support of, and then you think that they're going to support you back. But because you're putting in and because you're seed time and harvest, because you are sowing into somebody, sowing into their life, sowing into their business, or sowing into them, don't always expect for it to come right back from that source, because there are other sources that are going to come, other people, because again, remember that momentum. When you start doing things, people, your energy attracts. You're going to attract other people that are doing, and then your doing is going to connect with their doing, and it's going to connect with their doing. And before you know it, like Dr. George Fraser said, all of the dots will be connected, and all of us are spinning our wheels, and we're all getting it right together. How about that? But first of all, we got to understand these toxic relationships and understand that everybody can't be the center stage of your life. You have to. I used to think that it was a kumbaya. Everybody could, come on, y'all, let's work together. You too, come on over here. Come on over here. Nope, doesn't work that way, right? And as soon as we understand that, the better. Now, this article is coming from Very Well Mind, right? So thank you for the article. Let's read a little bit about the signs of a toxic relationship, okay? Only you can tell if the bad outweighs the good in a relationship. But if someone consistently threatens your well-being by what they're saying, doing, or not doing is also a sign of a toxic relationship. It's called withholding. It's likely a toxic relationship. But again, the huge factor here says that only you can tell the bad outweighs the good, or if the bad outweighs the good. Relationships that involve physical or verbal abuse are definitely classified as toxic, right? And sometimes we think, what can we do? It's nothing that you can do, but get it in your mind or get it straight in your head that it's nothing that you can do. But a relationship is toxic. It's toxic. It can be toxic from an uncle. It can be toxic from a mama. It can be toxic from a daddy. It can be toxic from a boyfriend or girlfriend. It can even be toxic from a child. All you can do for me is pray for them, right? And don't let it bother you. Keep on moving. As long as you know you're on the right track and know that you're doing what you need to do, you keep it moving, right? Relationship, we talked about that involve physical or verbal abuse, right? Okay. You give more than you get, which makes you feel devalued and depleted. Number one, right? Give you a second to grab your handy dedicated notebook, because these are some good ones, y'all. There's 10. So I'll reread number one. You give more than you're getting, which makes you feel devalued and depleted, right? So we're not talking about keeping a scorecard. We're talking about how, let me put it this way. Are you both your only competition being how much can I give to you? How happy can I make you? How many of your needs can I fulfill? And it's reciprocated. Ain't that a good relationship? That's better than a piece of grandma's pie, right? Grandma's good old sweet potato or pumpkin pie, whichever one you prefer, right? You feel consistently disrespected or that your needs aren't being met. Now we're talking about that same one over there about you feeling, devalued. But in this one, your needs aren't being met. Again, toxic relationship, if it's a one-side street, if it's one-sided, everything coming in, nothing going out. I always say love is a two-way street, right? And also love is an action word. You feel a toll on your self-esteem over time. And that's a good one too, because it's like over time. It's not just once or two or three times. It's over time. Over time, your self-esteem starts to seep out. And then, I've been in relationships, and again, I'll be transparent for the sake of teaching and a teachable moment. But when I was in that abusive relationship, before I knew it, I didn't even look the same. I didn't feel the same. And people would ask, where's your light? Your light starts to dim. Your light starts to go out. So if you feel you're in a relationship and you have to pull back or your light starts to dim, something wrong with that relationship, right? You feel unsupported, misunderstood, demeaned, or attacked, where you always have to figure out, what am I doing wrong? Or nothing that you do is right. Something is wrong with that. That's a warning sign. You feel depressed, angry, tired after speaking or being with the other person. So let's go back a little bit. Okay, if you feel all of these draining emotions and the person didn't leave you feeling whole. But the same thing on the other side. Are you leaving that person feeling drained or feeling, what did they say? Feeling drained or depressed or angry? Is that person, are you walking away like that? Or, okay, are you walking out the room to grab a breath, think about it, and say, you know what? See, now again, be transparent. For me, time management is terrible. And I had to understand that when you're not on time and punctual and you have people waiting for you, it's disrespectful, right? So if you are doing too many things, it's your time management that you need to work on. It's not that person getting angry because they've been waiting for 45 minutes and feel disrespected. That's not their issue. That's your issue. That's a issue that you have to work on. So like I said, it's a two-way street. It's not always about the other person. It's about what are you doing to show up as your best self, okay? You bring out the worst in each other. For example, your competitive friend brings out a spit-based competitive streak that is not enjoyable for you. Okay, I didn't like that one, but anyhow, basically they're saying that you're not your best self around that person. So something that is not, I mean, we all have things that we value, right? And if somebody brings something to the table that is not, something that you don't really want to do, not just because you're being, selfish or self-centered, but it's just like, this is something that I'm not enjoying, right? And it's okay. Like I talked about women in sports. I mean, I happen to like sports, but if you're a woman that doesn't like sports and your significant other likes sports, then learning a little bit about the game, or a little bit about the games or what have you, that's just a little bit of, compromise, right? But if it's something that goes against your values and against your morals and against your character, that's something different. And if that person doesn't care that is going against your morals, your values, or your character, then there's something wrong with that. There's another warning sign, right? You are not your best self. We talked about that one. You're not your best self around that person. You bring out the worst in each other. You feel like you're always walking on eggshells around that person to keep from being a target of their venom. That's a huge one. Okay. You spend a lot of time and emotional strength trying to cheer them up. You're always, always, always on that side of it, but never it being on you being on the receiving side of that. You are always to blame. They turn things around so things you thought they had done wrong are suddenly your fault. Let me read that one again. You are always to blame. They turn things around so that things that you thought that they had done wrong, now it's suddenly your fault. That's huge. That's huge. So let's go over the list really, really quickly because I want to make sure that we got all 10 of them. You give more than you're getting. You feel consistently disrespected. You feel like a toll has been taken over time on your self-esteem. You feel unsupported, misunderstood, demeaned, or attacked. You feel depressed, angry, and tired after speaking with that person. You bring out the worst in each other. You are not your best self around them. You feel like you have to walk on eggshells. You spend a lot of time and emotional strength on trying to cheer them up, and you're always to blame. So that is an amazing list of 10 signs of a toxic relationship. And so if you feel like you're in that type of relationship, understand that just like with Grandma's Cookie Jar Secret, Grandma's Cookie Jar Secret has been telling us to enjoy our life, to live our best life, to all of these things, right? But in order for us to do that, there's some things that we have to clean up and that we have to tidy up, right? And that was the basis for going back a little bit and saying, let's take care of these toxic relationships so that we can move forward in excellence and really, really enjoy our lives, really have the best life because it really is in your hands. Just like today, I said earlier that I twist my leg and re-injured an injury, and I could have chosen to just sit somewhere and nurse my wound. Instead, I said I'm going to honor my commitments. I'm going to take care of my leg, and then I'm going to get up and honor my commitments. So anyhow, hopefully I can be that example or that nudge to you to say, keep going, right? keep going, because in the end, we win, and we win better when we're doing it all together. All righty. Y'all stay fearless. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. Make sure you hit that button. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. The red button. All righty. Listen, learn, and leverage this information. Y'all stay fearless. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.